Shawnee. Welcome back. So we're getting ready for work today. I didn't go into the office today because everyone wanted to do sessions virtually. So I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna stay home, girl. What am I doing? So I'm gonna do my makeup and I'm gonna talk about the news because that's what I do when I am doing my makeup for work. So today I am going to use the Rebellious Nudes palette from Colored Rain. It's a neutral palette, very cute, very pretty. It's mainly mattes, and then you've got these three shimmers up here. I don't feel like Colored Rain gets enough like fanfare. I really like their stuff though. I started working on stuff and then I was like, oh, let me do a video. And so there's glitter everywhere, but we're not going to worry about it. We're not going to talk about it. Okay. Have you ever, when was the time when you realized that you're not like the cool kid anymore? Like you're not hip, you're not with it, with the young folk, like you'll understand what they're saying. I feel like that's been happening for me for a while, if we're gonna be honest. Like, even though I work with college kids, at this point, they're starting to say stuff that I don't understand, okay? I'm like, what does that mean? Now, oftentimes, my niece is like my point of reference. I'll be like, what does this acronym mean? What does this phrase mean? And like, I mean, mostly I just ask my clients, I'll be like, what does that mean? And they'll be like, Dr. B, oh my God, I can't believe you don't know. And I'm like, I'm sorry, child. I don't know what y'all Gen Z be saying. Like, are you Gen X? I mean, I don't know what y'all be talking about. I'm just trying to understand so I can help you. This is a Rose and Ben brush. It is C31. It's supposed to be like a concealer brush, but as you can see, I've been using it to tap out my primer for my eyes. And did I say this is the Colored Rain paint base in the shade white? So I was just perusing the interwebs the other day, as EJ says Obama's internet, and I came across apparently a new acronym. So, okay, we're all used to LOL at this point, right? I taught it to my mom a while ago because she would always be like laughing in her text. And I'm like, Mommy, you could put LOL. That means laugh out loud. So I feel like we all like, we have that one down, right? But y'all, I've been realizing that people don't say LOL anymore. They say LOL. When did we start doing that? When did that happen? Are we supposed to say lol? Because I don't feel comfortable doing it. I don't feel comfortable saying lol. I want to say LOL. So maybe when these kids hearing me say LOL, they're like, oh my gosh, she's so old. Which I don't mind. Look, it's better to get old than to not. So I'm just like, when did we start saying lol? And what... when did we start saying lol, y'all? You let me know. What month and year and day did we start saying lol? And do you say it? Because I just feel like I can't get on that train. I'm gonna have to take the bus. So then we had ROFL, right? Rolling on the floor laughing. All right, got that. Then we have LMAO, laughing my ass off, right? I'm like, I got all of this, right? Child, there's a new one. There's a new one. Ease bowl. What is it? Hold on. It is IJBOL, pronounced as Ease bowl. And it's an acronym that stands for I just burst out laughing. Y'all, I can't do it. I can't have more acronyms, okay? I just want to say I'm laughing. Maybe I want to say laughing hard, but I don't want to say Ease bowl. I don't want to say Ease bowl. That sounds like something, that sounds like an acai bowl or like something you get at Kava. Like, it sounds like food. Like, you could go up to the counter and be like, I think I'll have an Ease bowl with chicken. I'm gonna go in, what shade am I gonna go in with? Let's go into this one. That is growing up tings. So, am I being like old and curmudgeon-y? Because I just can't. I can't handle another one. What's gonna be next? What is going to be next? Is it gonna be like LALB, laughing a little bit? Like, what's next? I cannot. It is so frustrating to me. And I've known this for a while. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, kids these days, girl. And I never thought, you know, when you're younger and you're like, oh my God, adults are always saying, you know, back in my day. And I'm literally like, girl, when I was a kid, we didn't do it like that. So what age did you start doing that? What age did you realize? Because sometimes I have to watch myself, right? Because especially working with college students, I have to remember, like, they're going through some of these things for the first time, like breakups and friend fights and like all this stuff. Because sometimes I'm like, girl, it'll be fine. Give it 10 years. And I have to remember, like, you know, just because I've gone through it a billion times doesn't mean that they have gone through it yet. You know, mainly about like relationships and stuff and child, all the things these people be telling me. And I'm like, no, it wasn't the best, girl. Give about 20 years and then you could tell me, you know? So I don't know. Is it easier for y'all that have like kids in this age range? I can't say age bowl. I can't type it either. My fingers don't work like that. I just cannot. I cannot, and I don't think I will. I've also not seen anybody use it. Who's saying age bowl? Okay, I'm gonna go into this shade here called I'm Speaking. I am saying age bowl. It don't sound like to me. It sounds like a Chipotle order. And until I hear some young person saying it, I ain't gonna say it because I'm not gonna make myself look like a fool. But at least now, if one of my clients say it, I could be like, oh, I know what you saying. Oh my God. Okay, so speaking of ridiculousness, child, let me tell you, this is a very litigious society that we live in. People will sue you for the clothes on your back. So this lady, where's the story? This lady fractured her left ankle during a trip with her husband to this little eatery in Boston last year. So she slipped in the eatery. And you know, that stuff be happening. People be falling at Walmart and all kinds of stuff, and Target and restaurants and everything. So she was looking for somebody to blame. So she said that she's blaming her. It's not funny. She is blaming her. She is blaming her injury on a piece of ham. Listen, if you gotta find something to blame it on, girl. She is blaming it on it. She's blaming it on a piece of prosciutto. Like, okay, hold on, let me tell you what happened. She was heading to an area where food samples are distributed. So you, first of all, you trying to get some free food, girl. I get you. Some of those samples be good. When she slipped on a piece of prosciutto and fell, according to her lawsuit, because she's suing them. She has sustained bodily injuries, according to the lawsuit, a loss of enjoyment of life, pain and suffering, and like necessary medical expenses for medical care and attention. Far be it from me to say anything about this lady because I don't know, like, it doesn't say how old she is. Fracturing your ankle, I imagine that hurts. Is it as bad as a clean break? I'm not sure. But I imagine she has to have like a boot and stuff and it gets in the way. It's her left ankle, so I'm guessing it wouldn't get too much in the way of driving. But okay, I get it. Pain and suffering. But girl, you were going to get some free food. It's terrible because if I did this and I came to y'all and I was like, I slipped on a piece of prosciutto and now I'm all hurt and I'm going to be laid up in the bed. Girl, I'm going to go into this shimmer here called Boss Energy. Here's the thing. Listen, girl, if you can do it, if you can get them to pay you for your pain and suffering and your medical bills, because we all know that's probably expensive. You can go in there just for a piece of gum and they're going to charge you the rate for like an open heart surgery. So I haven't gotten any updates on it as to if, you know, the lawsuit is going to go through, because sometimes these judges be throwing stuff out. So I think she needs to get a judge who like understands the dangers of prosciutto and like, you know, taking your life into your own hands when you go to get a sample. I hope she gets someone who, you know, is like going to be understanding. But I don't know. Y'all, what you think? I'm glad she's okay. Because falling and hurting yourself is not the business. That's another thing that tells you about when you're getting older. Because, girl, when you fall now, you don't pop back up like you used to when you were 20. Okay? Like, you just don't. You gotta give yourself some time to, like, process what's happening while you're on the floor. And then you have to figure out what leg that you could put out first to get yourself up. Is there a handrail? Like, I need assistance. Okay? So, I'm guessing she's not a young woman. And so, like, that probably hurt. It was probably embarrassing. I just want to know, was there really a piece of prosciutto? And can you slip on prosciutto? Like, what shoes do you have to be wearing? Because I would kind of imagine, like, if you have some grippy soles, like, you would just step on the prosciutto, right? Like, was it saucy? Is that why it was slippery? I just have questions. And I don't know what this restaurant in Boston is going to do. I don't know if they're going to settle. I don't know if they're going to be like, ma'am, we weren't even selling prosciutto that day. Like, I don't know what they're going to do. I can't say that I wouldn't sue them. I would probably be like, you know what? Y'all, I was just trying to go get this sample of this, like, prosciutto wrap date. And y'all had me on the floor. I done fractured my leg, my ankle. Would you do it? Would you sue? She said, I am taking you to court. Okay? It didn't say how much she's suing for. But girl, do it. Do it, girl. Remember back in the day where someone sued Subway because they said it was like like a foot-long sandwich, but it just like it was a like couple inches short. Somebody sued them people, okay? Somebody sued Subway for false advertisement, and I want to say that they won. See, we over here we not suing enough people. That's what you and I are not doing. We are not taking advantage of the system in the ways that we apparently should. Because, you know, if I had slipped, maybe if I didn't break anything, it would be different. But I would just be like, I mean, can I get this plate for free? Like, y'all have me falling over here. You still gonna make me pay $13.75 for this food? No. How about you don't charge me? That's probably the most that I would do, right? Or I could be dramatic and just like lay out like... process. What is the process of deciding I'm gonna go ahead and sue all y'all? I don't know. Y'all done anything like that? Let me know, because maybe I'm just like, I'm not living my life right. Because if I trip over something. Now, apparently, I'm gonna just be like, I'm suing you. But she said, not today, girl. Y'all about to pay. Y'all, this is another thing that we shouldn't be laughing about. Okay, so this lady, she was in Texas, right? And as Kelly Clarkson say, in Texas, we do things bigger. And this woman took this situation to the heights of the sky and made it just bigger than the world. She was outside mowing her lawn. And, what did I even do with this eye? She was outside mowing her lawn. And all of a sudden, she was like attacked by a snake. Like the snake came out of nowhere. Just dropped down and wrapped itself around her arm. So she said it felt like it fell out of the sky and wrapped itself around her arm. And the snake was like squeezing hard. And she was like, I'm just moving my arm in the air trying to like shake it off. And then, girl, all of a sudden, a hawk came and swooped down. And the hawk was like clawing at her arm. So girl, she got the snake on one arm and then now the hawk is like clawing at her as well. So she's over there screaming, asking Jesus to save her. And then I guess what happened was eventually I think the hawk like snatched the snake away. And so they just peaced out after that. And then that's when her husband came running out the door. I'm sure y'all with husbands are like, really? Like, because I'm like, I know you heard me screaming. Screaming for my life while I'm being attacked by these vicious animals. I'm screaming and you over here coming out when everything's done. Okay? First of all, I'm out here in the hot sun mowing this lawn and then I get attacked. I was minding my own business. I get attacked by a snake and a hawk. Who does that happen to? Who does that happen to? That's got to be a Guinness World Record. I'm telling you. And you coming out here. I think I would be more mad at the husband. Like, I know you just didn't let me stay out here fighting for my life and you up inside. What you was doing? Was you on the toilet? Were you just having a drink of cold water while I'm out here mowing the lawn? First of all, you ain't gonna catch me mowing the lawn, okay? So, they were trying to figure out, like, what? Like, what happened? So, they thought, like, the story they came up with was, like, the hawk probably had the snake in its mouth or something, and then the hawk must have accidentally dropped it. Like, I'm wondering if the hawk just got like distracted, you know, like distracted driving, which is not good. But Mr. Hawk dropped it and then he came to get it. I'm only laughing because it's funny and because it didn't happen to me and because the lady's okay. Like, if she wasn't okay, I would be like, that's terrible. I'm glad Jesus saved her. I'm a little mad at her husband. Like, I'm not even mad at the snake and the hawk. They were doing what naturally comes to them, okay? They were living their best life. This hawk done snatched up this snake, and, you know, once the snake got to the ground, he was probably like, girl, I gotta fight for my life. And then the hawk was like, I know you didn't just take my food. That's what I imagine that they're thinking in their heads. But I would be more upset at the husband. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would just be like, I know you didn't just leave me out here. I know you heard me screaming. What was you doing? Like, I would be so mad. I'm not even mad at the hawk and stuff because, listen, nature, okay? This is what hawks do. This is what snakes do. But I know what my human husband not gonna do is have me out here screaming and yelling and you sitting up in the house coming after everything is done. The hawk and the snake are gone now, okay? What if a bunch of hawks had swooped down and taken me? What was you gonna do? So the moral of the story is, have somebody else mow your lawn, okay? You're not trying to be out here getting swooped up by a hawk. Because that hawk was like, I'm going to fight you for this food, girl. Well, why are you playing? That's a traumatizing experience. And if somebody came into my office and told me that, of course, I would show so much empathy and be like, girl, how the hell that happened? Where was you at? Where you live? Because I'm going to avoid that place. I'm saying. Y'all, and that's not the only story of animals falling out the sky. Y'all, pay attention to all these animal stories. There was a little boy that got attacked by a bear. He's okay. Non-threatening injuries. A couple of these bears out here just snatching people up a little bit. I know there were a few other stories. People finding snakes everywhere. There was a snake up in a Target cart, the push cart. See, it's trying to tell us, you be going into Target and you be getting like 12,000 more products than you supposed to. That snake was like, you said you were coming in here for 10 items. That's all that's going to fit in this cart with me. So apparently, I think this was in Florida because every story is in Florida, right? Apparently, they couldn't find the owner of said snake. And so a college was just like, we'll take it. We need to do experiments. So they legit took it and they named it Target, which I find hilarious. But they were saying something like they had little science fairs and stuff, and they always like to have a big snake to show the kids because it's a big snake. How that snake get there? How? People finding snakes everywhere, y'all. Somebody went into their bathroom and guess where it was? Up in the toilet. You gonna sit in the toilet and you get bit by a snake on your ass? I would be... First of all, this is a sacred place for me, and I know you're not up in this toilet about to bite me. I know you're not. Speaking of, I'm gonna tell you about the other story of an animal falling out the sky. So this UPS person went to go drop off a package. He went above and beyond. So he saw a snake. He saw a snake, girl. And so he went into the people's garage and got like some tools, and the snake ain't alive no more. Then he texted the people and was like, I hope you didn't have a pet snake because I just killed it. And you know what came to my mind? What came to my mind is how my sometimes UPS person just be throwing stuff at my door. He's like, you got another package? He just doing like a football throw, like I'm gonna catch it or something. I'm telling you, this man has thrown my package from like the sidewalk. There's a whole, you gotta walk upstairs and all this stuff. I understand. I don't like carrying stuff up it either. But I know you didn't just throw my package. I've heard things like hit the door, like, I'm like, oh, mail's here. So he went above and beyond. Like, thank you, sir. That's the kind of service I'm looking for. But could you imagine if it was their pet snake? Oopsies. I mean, no, that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good. But no, it was just some random snake hanging out outside their door. Thank God he saw it and killed it. Yes, killed. Because could you imagine walking out your house? What's happening with the animals in this world right now? What is happening? There was another story, I think, in China where people are insisting that the gorillas that they have at the zoo, that they're really just humans in gorilla suits. Now, I don't know. I'll believe anything at this point, but the zoo insists that it's just like the gorillas just be standing up. But listen, at this point, I will believe anything, okay? I would believe, because you know somebody will pay to have a human be in a gorilla suit and just chilling. Like, listen, we need to convince these people that it's a real gorilla, so I'm going to go ahead and hire you for the day to stand in this heat in the gorilla suit and pretend you're a gorilla. I don't know what's happening with animals. I know that we need to stop messing with them. We need to stop messing with them. And we need to stop like artificially creating them, because all of a sudden now there is a giraffe. What are giraffes known for? They're known for their long necks and what else? Their spots, right? All of a sudden, the world now has its only spotless giraffe. It looks like a llama with a super long neck. That's what it looks like. Go look it up. Go look it up on the interwebs. How did that happen? When in nature have you seen that? I don't think we have. And I think there was another animal that was like, just had no color. I can't remember what it was. Like, I feel like we're messing with stuff, and I've said this before. I feel like animals are fighting back. They're like, we're done. We're done, okay? We about to come up in your house. We about to bite you real bad. And, like, what you gonna do? Because we was here first. Except for the ones y'all are artificially generating. But the other story about something falling out the sky. Oh, I'm using this shimmer here. That is Rebel with Applause. Child. So they were trying to figure out, there was like a big blackout. I think it was in New Jersey, I think. And they were like, WTF, what happened? So what they figured out, again, a bird was flying by and he had a fish in his mouth. He got distracted driving, and he dropped the fish, and the fish just happened to land on the like transformer and just shut the entire city down into darkness. Like, what is happening, y'all? You give me an explanation, because I have never in my life heard these kinds of stories where these like flying things be having stuff in their mouth and dropping them. What is happening? What is happening? Like, are they doing it on purpose? Or like, what's happening? What's going on with your flying and carrying skills, you know? Like, tell me. I'm gonna stay in my house. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not messing with these animals. I'm gonna stay in my house. You can have the outside world, okay? You can have it. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna let you have it. Let me go ahead and clean up and put something else on. And I will be right back. Okay, so let's end on two stories that I think really teach us some lessons. The first is a story from British Columbia, where a library there received a returned book. Now, that might not sound like a big deal, but the book was 86 years late. Imagine what that fine would be. The thing is, though, good for them, because they got rid of the late fees like last year. So by the time this person returned it, they didn't have to worry about the fees. So what lesson can we learn from that? It's never too late to fix something. And then the last one is, a man finally won the jackpot in the lottery after playing the same numbers for 7 years. He played the same numbers and he won. So what can we take from that? Girl, patience and stick-to-itness, okay? If he hadn't played it for maybe 1 year, this year, he wouldn't have won. Anyways, hopefully some of this was helpful. I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. Be sure to thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about these stories. Let me know when you realize you're not with the cool kids anymore. Let me know what you think is going on with these animals. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.